Okay, we're going to do the last section of chapter 3, which is rewriting equations and formulas. First thing we're going to do is solve a literal equation, and that's when we have something set up with all just letters first. So the first one, we're solving ax plus b equals c for x, and then we're going to use that to solve 2x plus 5 equals 11 for x as well. So we need to solve it for x. So we're going to do the exact same thing that we would do otherwise, only there's letters instead of actual numbers. But we need to get that x term alone, so we're going to subtract both sides, b from both sides. Ax equals c minus b, and then we're going to divide both sides by a. So x equals c minus b over a. So now we're going to identify what the a, b, and c are in our actual equation over here. Looking at the literal over on the left side, we know this is a, this is b, this is c. So if we're trying to solve x, and it's c minus b over a, then we do 11 minus 5 over 2, which is 3. So that's one way to solve an equation. We're going to do the same thing on these two, solving them for x. Notice that the formulas on the left side are set up the exact same way as the right side, only there's numbers in the right side equations. So solving this one for x, we need to subtract a from both sides. Negative bx equals c minus a, and then divide both sides by negative b. X equals c minus a over negative b. Or we can actually switch everything around and not have a negative on the bottom. It's a minus c over b. These are going to be the exact same. So identifying a, b, c, x equals 12 minus negative 3 over 5, which is 3. Okay, next one. We need to get the x terms alone on b because we have x terms on both sides. So I'm going to subtract bx from both sides. Ax minus bx equals c. We then need to factor out the c, the x I mean, I'm sorry. A minus b equals c. So it's the same thing that you would do if a and b were numbers. You would just subtract a and b. So it does look a little bit different because we don't have numbers, but this is the hardest problem. And then divide. Okay, identifying a, b, c. X equals 20 over 11 minus 6, which is 4. Literal equations are not everybody's favorite, but they do work. Okay, the next thing we're going to be doing is rewriting. Instead of solving literal, we're going to be rewriting equations. Write 3x plus 2y equals 8 so that y is a function of x. That just means solve it for y. So we need to get the 3x to the other side. Subtract it. 8 minus 3x, and then you need to divide both sides by 2 because we want to get the y alone. Eight minus 3x over 2. 8 over 2 is 4, minus 3 halves x. The area of a triangle is given by a equals 1/2 bh, where b is the base, h is the height. Solve it for h. Okay, so first I'm going to get rid of that number. How do you get rid of a 1/2? You need to multiply by the reciprocal, just to multiply both sides by 2. So 2a equals b times h, and we want to get the h alone, so we need to divide both sides by b. Use the rewritten formula to find the height with a base of 14 and an area of 64.4 meters. So we just plug everything in where it belongs. The area is 64.4 and the base is 14. You multiply and divide that out, you get 9.2 meters. So obviously it can be helpful to rewrite an equation to solve for the variable that you're trying to solve for. Okay, let's solve this one so that y is a function of x. Subtract 5x from both sides. Divide everything by 4. y equals 5 minus 5/4 x. Now we have perimeter given by 2 length plus 2 width, where L is length and W is width. Solve it for W. So we need to subtract, I'll set this up for you, 2L plus 2W. We need to subtract the length term from both sides. So P minus 2 times the length equals 2 times the width. We need to divide both sides by 2 to get that W alone. So P over 2 minus L. And then we're going to use our rewritten formula to solve for the width of a rectangle, where the perimeter is 19.2 and the length is 7.2. So W equals 19.2 divided by 2 minus 7.2, which is 2.4 feet. You are visiting Toronto. The website gives you the forecast. Find the low temperatures for Saturday and Sunday in degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so we have the formula for Celsius, and F is Fahrenheit. We need to solve that for F is what it's wanting us to do. So let's rewrite this down here so we can work with it. You can either multiply that 5/9 into our parentheses, which I think is going to be more tedious, or you can just multiply by 9/5 right away to get rid of our fractions. So on the left side we have 9/5 C equals F minus 32. We're going to add 32 to both sides to get the F alone. And we're done. 9/5 C plus 32. And then we can use that, since all of our temperatures are in Celsius, to solve. We are trying to find low temperatures for Saturday and Sunday. So let's do Saturday first. I'm going to plug in 14. F equals 9/5 times 14 plus 32. In Fahrenheit, that's 57.2 degrees. And we're also trying to find the low temperature for Sunday. Low temperature was 10. 9/5 times 10 plus 32 is 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, and that is all we had left in chapter 3.